Welcome, Comadres. How is everyone doing today? We have a great topic and a great speaker today. I'm very excited about speaking here with Galina in a few minutes. My name is She Lopez, and yes, I am a proud Comadre since early 20. If we have not met, please reach out to me. Love getting to know more Comadres and getting to know your business and seeing how I can help you. So please reach out to me. I myself am an entrepreneur having two legal services companies, L&L Process and Notary Force. And now I am also working on my startup called Metadime, which I'm very excited about introducing more people to Web3 and this new emerging technology. And this is really what our topic today is about, is getting started. Welcome, Erica. I see that you joined us. And this brings me to introducing our guest speaker, Galina. Galina Fendikevich. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Galina is a product manager at Niantic with a track record of finding strategies and building efficient processes to implement them. Focusing on Web3, she's passionate about facilitating technology access, building seamless user experiences. Currently, Galina is exploring the intersection of Web3, augmented reality, and adventure at Niantic on the Spot X Games team. Let us know a little bit more about what that is, Galina. Over the past 5 years, she has leveraged various technologies to help ship solutions from corporate managed policies to credit risk systems and cryptocurrency programs involving payments and rewards. As a community advocate for Chainlink and Filecoin, she is inspiring the growth of diversified crypto hubs with borderless reach, giving people of all backgrounds equal opportunity to learn about disruptive Web3 technologies and its various applications. Galina today is going to help us understand more about the fundamentals of Web3. So we're very excited. Remember when your parents were afraid of putting their credit card into a shopping website and you thought it was normal and they just didn't get it? Well, so we're in the same process of another shift in how to operate on the internet, where you learn what to do and how to do it. So here we are. Galina, please introduce yourself and start us off with what we need to know. Welcome.
Thank you, Shirley. It's great to chat with the Comadres and share more about what I know. Since I'm deep in the space, I want to be able to share all of the tools and knowledge that I've acquired to make sure that everyone else understands what is going on. There's this whole splurge of words that you've been hearing, like blockchain and crypto and NFTs and wallets, and things go up, things go down, people make money, people lose money. So it's just like a barrage of things hitting you all at once. And I want to add some structure around it. So A, you understand what's happening, and then B, so you know how to operate within it. And you won't be like your parents, like, oh, should I really be doing this? I really want, those paper towels, but I don't feel safe sharing my credit card information. So I also want to dispel any associations that you might have with the industry, just from things that you might have heard in the media. There's a lot of things flying around. So as someone who's super deep in it, I definitely want to share with you what that means. And then I'm more of an active speaker. So I want to engage with you. If you have any questions, please just feel free to raise your hand, put it in the chat, and Shirley will read it off. And then Shirley will help show you how I do research, how to find information, what some of these resources that I'm talking about look like, so you can not just see slides, but you actually see a website, and it becomes a little bit less intimidating to engage with the industry. So first things first, what is Web3 and how is it different? Web3 comes with its own set of tools. And the tools include a blockchain, as you've heard of, a wallet, and digital currency. This is different than, let's say, you have an email address, and everybody had to know, like, what is an email address and what is an inbox. And there's a lot of words that have been associated with Web 2. And now you just have to learn a whole new set of words and what that means for you. So we have a blockchain. And Shirley, if you could share your screen.
I'll go ahead and do that now.
On Google and type in what is blockchain, nice and simple. And go to the images. And go to that green, how blockchain works. I'm a very visual person. So when I have questions, I just need to see a chart. I need someone to literally draw boxes in lines and tell me how things connect with each other. You might have heard different definitions of blockchain. Everybody describes a little bit differently. So the more you hear it, the more it makes sense. So I'm going to start with this definition of a blockchain is a system for record keeping. It's basically a super fancy Excel sheet. You put information in, it keeps track of things for you. And it's mainly used for managing, recording and storing information, such as ownership of assets, such as what the balance is in your accounts. So it's also like a bank statement. Money goes in, money goes out. They keep track of it for you, so you know what you have to spend. The special thing about this is the trustless nature of a system, meaning you're not trusting a bank to keep track of information for you. You're trusting a lot of people. There's a really smart system that gets a whole bunch of strangers to work together to
That's where this is.
Verify.
Number 3.
Yes, to verify the information for you. So you send a transaction. It's a piece of information. Everyone's like, yep, this looks good. Second person, yep, this looks good. Third person, yep, this looks good. Right. And after a few people say this is valid, then it gets appended to this record keeping. You can only go forward in blockchain. You can never go backward. So each piece of information that is stored is added to the end of the previous information, pieces of information. So you can't hack the system. You can't cheat the system. There's too many people involved for you to even try, and the technology around it, the cryptography is too strong for you to be able to say, oh no, actually someone sent me $1,000 instead of $100. There should be $1,000 in my account. You can't do that. And it takes a very, very large effort to take the system down versus there's no outage. There's no central bank fails and all of a sudden you can't get your money. There's no lights shut off and then all of a sudden you don't have access to heat or light. It keeps running and it keeps running because of the system of people working together.
And Galina, how is that different from today, and specifically with the difference between centralized web and decentralized?
Yep, good question. So right now, all of the services you're using, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Google, Motley Fool website, they can flip a switch and it goes offline. And you don't have access to Amazon. You don't have access to money in a bank account. You don't have access to Google. They all hold the power to just take things offline. And that centralized system gives them the power to do what they want. They can change it. Motley Fool can all of a sudden put a big red sign that says you suck on it. And they can do that because they own the website. So decentralized system, it's harder for any one actor, any one company, any one person to take things offline where you don't have access to information anymore.
Interesting.
Okay. So with these tools, this is the general framework for how a blockchain works. There are two big blockchains that you should know about. So Shirley, if you could go to coindesk.com. CoinDesk is a very good reliable news source. I'm actually going to touch on something that they kicked off in the recent turmoil in the crypto industry. But CoinDesk has news, has learning materials, very reliable reporting. If you scroll up, there is a section called Learn on the top right, and you can just click on that. And Learn covers a lot of the high-level topics. What are NFTs? What is Bitcoin? What is crypto? And I'll be sharing a few resources where you can gather information. But you can look more into this. They do cover Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are the two biggest blockchains in the industry. Bitcoin has this blockchain, but the way that it's structured, it's mainly used to generate cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin, which powers the network and allows you to use this currency to buy things such as pizza. Someone many years ago spent their Bitcoin to buy pizza. And at that time, it was very low amount. And that the amount they spent to buy pizza is worth millions today. So now there's an honorary day to remind this one person that they spent millions of dollars on a pizza. So Bitcoin.
Was the pizza good?
I hope it was good. I think it was Domino's too.
That's crazy.
So you can use this as a resource, and they have different levels depending on where you're coming from and your knowledge of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, the blockchain creates the currency, and that currency is mainly used as gold, as in a lot of speculation on the value and a store of value. So you collect Bitcoin and you just hold it. And then you hold it for the norm in the industry. Again, nothing I say is financial advice. The norm in the industry is to just hold it because the price goes up and down, just like stocks do. But in the long run, the value of Bitcoin will be higher, and it's a hedge against even more volatile normal currencies in countries such as Venezuela. So a lot of people
I like this little calculator here. These are all the different coins.
Yes. So there are many other cryptocurrencies that are used on the blockchain. Those cryptocurrencies are created on the Ethereum blockchain, and CoinDesk covers Ethereum as well. So Ethereum is like the App Store, and it gives you tools to create apps on top of the App Store, such as your fitness apps, your to-do list, your calendar app, your email app. The same concept applies in this Web3 world, where there's apps to manage your finances, there's apps to invest money, there's apps to communicate, all using the power of this decentralized network, meaning right now the Apple App Store, they flip a switch, you lose access to all your apps. Apps on Ethereum blockchain, there is no flip of the switch. You will have access to these apps, obviously barring the individual company as well. But these applications are more resistant to a centralized power taking them down. And therefore, it gives you more security in knowing that when you use an app on this Ethereum App Store, you have more control of your assets on it, and there's less likely of the app going down. So Ethereum blockchain is also where a lot of the other cryptocurrencies or digital currency is born, because a lot of these apps create their own digital currency to power the application. And I won't go too deep into that. I recommend you use the Learn section of CoinDesk in order to look more into it. Shirley, can you go to decrypt.co next? CRYPT.co. And there's a Learn section in there as well on the left-hand side. I like Decrypt because they name their articles so intuitively, like what is. All you have to type in is what is Bitcoin, what is Ethereum, what is blockchain, and they have articles that explain that. They're short. They have different levels. If you are more intermediate, they have long form articles, but they're very short and give you the high level of what you need to know. So this is another resource that I recommend using. And if you scroll to the top, that pink article. So the next conversation I'll come to is wallets. Wallet is like your email address, or it's like your debit card. It holds the username, password, or bank account PIN number combination to access all the assets that you can acquire using a blockchain. So a crucial difference between Web 2 and Web 3 is ownership, the ownership piece. When you put money in a bank, the bank owns it. You have a key card that says, hey, I'm giving you my debit card, I'm going to take cash out. And then you have the cash in your hand and you can do whatever you want with that cash. Same concept applies to a wallet. A custodial wallet is you let a bank or an exchange hold your cryptocurrency, hold your NFTs, whatever digital asset you have. You give them the power to hold it for you, which is also a bit risky because then there's a chance that they could lose it for you or not give it back to you, just as a bank. A non-custodial wallet is when you say, hey, give me my money, and you have the physical cash in your hand. It is up to you what you do with that asset. A non-custodial wallet is what you always want to have. There's two non-custodial wallet solutions, a hardware and a software. Shirley, can you go to ledger.com?
I feel like we have to have like our own little meeting just to learn how to set up wallets, which wallets and where, and the codes and all the, everything. So that's an idea for a meeting.
For sure. So this is the most secure ways where you just plug it in like a USB and then you transfer all your assets to the USB and it's on you. You are responsible. That is the ownership piece. In Web 2, you don't own anything. You are not responsible for anything. So it's easy for applications to create amazing experiences because they hold things for you, they manage things for you. But this is a brave new world where now you are responsible for your own assets. You're responsible for keeping it. If you lose this, or if you lose the password to your wallet, your assets are gone. And that's a very hard pill to swallow for a lot of people because they're used to having companies hold their assets for them. But I guess it's up to each individual person whether you want to hold your own assets and be responsible for it, or whether you want to let a company be responsible for your assets. So could you go to coinbase.com next?
Yeah.
So hardware wallet is the super advanced version of retaining your assets and having that ownership piece. Coinbase is an exchange and is, yes, a centralized company, so more risky, of acquiring assets and storing assets. Their experience or user experience is very easy to use the app. So I would highly recommend Coinbase for the user experience. Also, given latest news of a centralized exchange, another one called FTX imploding and lending these assets.
Give us also a little brief synopsis of what happened there and why.
Yes.
If you could.
So Coinbase is another centralized exchange, but they've worked with regulators since day one, and they ensure keeping users' assets one for one. So basically, it's not like they keep 20% of the money you put in and lend out 80%. So if you want to get 100% of your money out, they don't have it. They do have it. But FTX is another exchange. You can't even go on their website because they cut off access to the website. But FTX is an exchange where you can buy digital assets and you can trade assets. However, they misused funds from users. They did what, frankly, a bank does, which is why you get a savings, like a little bit of savings rate. If you keep your money in there, they'll give you like a few dollars at the end of the year. But FTX lent out a bunch of the money that users had put into their exchange. So when a competitor tried to make it super simple, a competitor tried to get their money out, they kicked off a bank run on FTX. So all of the users in FTX got scared because they said, oh, this other competitor, they want to get their money out of FTX. We should too. This is a bad sign. So everybody started submitting withdrawals, but FTX didn't have everybody's money. They lent it out. They had leveraged it. They had made loan upon loan and borrowed so much money that every single user in FTX, every dollar was not in FTX holdings. And therefore they had to stop withdrawals. And then a lot of people who had money in FTX, unfortunately, are stuck and they can't get their money out. So imagine having $1,000 in the bank and then the bank's like, I don't have it, sorry. And then you don't have your $1,000. And that's exactly what FTX did. They didn't follow regulatory guidelines. They didn't do right by their users by protecting the assets. And they took massive risks, especially in this bear market, with lending out money and making bets that didn't pan out with that money. And this is what brings me back to Coinbase, because Coinbase has worked with regulators. They do keep all your assets one-to-one. If you put $1,000 into Coinbase, you can take out $1,000 out of Coinbase. And they have been very vocal and audited and have provided proof. They're a public company as well. So they've been really, like, due diligence has been amazing on them.
Would you say they are more transparent because of Web3, because of the blockchain? Or is that just ethical behavior?
A little bit of both. So they've had proofs that is on the blockchain of, hey, like, we're putting it on the chain forever, for eternity, that we have the money that we say that we have. And then it's also just ethical of, we're going to keep users' funds and not go lend them out. So I would recommend using Coinbase if you want to acquire any digital assets. They also have an NFT marketplace if you're into digital collectibles or digital art. But the amazing thing about Coinbase is, they have a learn section as well, and they have a learn and earn program. So you don't even need to buy anything. You can take a few of their short courses to learn about different cryptocurrencies and get some digital currencies in return.
That's
so
great.
Get your first digital currency for free by doing their learn and earn. And then they also have a Coinbase wallet. I believe you have to search that separately, Shirley, if you just go to Coinbase wallet. This Coinbase wallet is the option that they're giving you of, yes, you're trusting a centralized exchange, even though Coinbase, it's public, it's regulated, they're doing right, there's always a risk. They offer this separate wallet option, which is a separate app that gives you that self-custody ownership that I was talking about. Now, if Coinbase is the bank, you trust them. They're like, cool, I trust you, handle it for me. If at any point you want to have your own ownership and take the cash out, you can transfer it to this wallet. And now any assets, any digital art is in your safekeeping. So when you set up the wallet, which, as Shirley mentioned, could be a whole nother course, you have a passphrase. You basically have a password that you need to keep and never, ever, ever forget. I don't think they have a recovery mechanic for this. So they give you a password, you keep this password. If you lose the password, you lose your money. And that is the trade-off that comes with truly owning your digital assets, where if Coinbase goes down, you still have your wallet and you still have the keys to access your assets. It doesn't have to be on Coinbase. You can log into your wallet elsewhere and still see your assets.
So just to review, Coinbase has both options, non-custodial and custodial. This in particular is the custodial, where I'm an owner, I download it, it's all in my possession, no one else do anything with it. And if I lose my passphrase, I lose my everything.
Yes,
right?
and it's
But
called
the
non-custodial.
non-custodial. Okay. And then custodial is what the previous website we were on, Coinbase, and there is a custodial option
Yep,
there,
which
where
means you give
which is
custody.
in okay.
Yeah.
I give custody to Coinbase. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
To hold my assets, basically.
Exactly.
Okay. Awesome.
And then
Awesome.
with any assets, any assets you buy, crypto is risky. You could lose everything you put in. The industry is super nascent. And especially if you're new and if you end up losing that password, there are a lot of obstacles in the experience for people to use the tools of Web3 right now. And the industry is working so hard to make it easier for you. But always be mindful of when you engage in products, engage in buying assets, ask questions if you're ever unsure of anything.
Absolutely. It's good to be part of a community that's learning together. And if somebody finds a new wallet or a new website, a new exchange, it's good to ask the community, hey, have you guys heard about this? Has anybody used it before? Are they reliable? What do you guys think? So it's good to bounce off questions from your community as well.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And that the ideal universe is where as a Web3 builder, we want to give you that Web2 experience where you can one-click buy, you can recover your password. It's not as detrimental anymore. We want to create Web2 experiences using this Web3 technology. So you get the best of both worlds. It's easy for you to use, and Coinbase, again, did a really good job of this. It's easy to use, and it gives you custody, it gives you options, it gives you access to engage with digital assets.
Awesome, awesome. And so what other resources do you recommend so we can continue learning about this stuff?
Yes. Another great website, it's actually a newsletter. It's called The Milk Road. I know it sounds funny, but just type it in, The Milk Road. They have a mascot, which is a carton of milk, and they call him the milkman. Crypto can be, blockchain, Web3 can be weird sometimes. So they're just having a little bit of fun. This newsletter is super bite-sized. It gives you like the highest level of information of what's happening in the industry. I think they did a great job covering what happened with FTX, and Sam Bankman-Fried is the CEO and founder of FTX, the exchange. And he's the one that steered the ship down, like the Titanic.
Right.
And they do such a good job of covering and trying to verify sources.
Well, it looks like their top 5 or 6 posts are all about FTX. So.
It is. It's a blow to the industry, because a lot of people are going to say, oh, I was right. Blockchain is a scam. And all of the negative sentiment that a lot of people have about blockchain and digital currency and all of that, they feel like it validates them. And to us builders, we have such a hard time of trying to explain that there's so much more than this story, and there's so many awesome tools that exist, and awesome applications that are doing great. Like, they didn't play this game, which is like one tiny slice of the Web3 industry, which is buying assets and trading assets. It's one tiny slice. There's so much more to it, and my job, I hope, is to quench the fears and show you that the technology itself is super powerful. I mean, think of it as Google. Google has so many applications on top of it. It's everywhere. Everyone uses Google at least once a day in their life. I guarantee it. It's part of everyday life. And blockchain is going to be the same way. It's just going to take time, just like Google, to find the right applications for users, and provide that value, such as managing communications through email.
Right. It's going to be the evolution of Web3, right? The evolution of blockchain, and how the use of it will be refined, will be made easier, will be more accessible. The education of all of this will be more prevalent. The communities will grow. People are going to be talking more about it. I think, yes, it does set back the Web3 community. In the long term, I think it's a learning lesson, and also new opportunities to just get better, to refine it.
Yeah, for sure. One podcast that I would like to share with everyone is called Bankless. Yep. Oh, that's a Substack. You could do on YouTube or Spotify. But Bankless is a podcast where the show hosts talk with leaders across the crypto industry, across different use cases of the technology stack. And they drive down into what does the technology do and how does it help other people? So they also have weekly roll-ups, which is about 1 hour show of everything that happened in the industry that week, and they do an analysis of it. So taking FTX, what does it mean for the industry of what happened with FTX? Or there was news of Instagram. Instagram is going to let users, creators, a small subset at first, and then they'll roll it out, create NFTs, digital collectibles, and then allow buyers to purchase them on Instagram and display them. So giving artists a bigger leg up in allowing them to create and showcase on Instagram. There's a really fun NFT use case that I want to share. You go on sorare.com. So rare. So NFTs, non-fungible tokens. They're one of a kind digital pieces of validation. So each card, this is a fantasy sports trading card game. So they took trading cards and they made them one of a kind digital assets. And they allow users to trade with each other in fantasy sports, a very popular pastime. So they've been able to create an experience that is familiar to everyday users, while also matching that up with blockchain technology to also offer that ownership, offer that validity of, which is another thing that blockchain offers, is it encodes into the blockchain for all eternity who owns what, and the uniqueness of each digital asset.
Fantastic.
A couple other use cases, if you can go to Guild of Guardians, and I don't know the website, but if you just search for it, yeah, it should come up. So other than NFTs, which are just digital assets, and please don't let any bad connotations from media ruin your perception of NFTs, because like I said, there's a lot of surface level information that people speculate on, but they don't dive deep into the technology. And diving deep into the technology means fantasy sports or Guild of Guardians. So here's another use case for digital assets, such as NFTs, which is
like it's still loading.
Yeah, that's lots of images.
There it goes.
This is one of the top blockchain games, and everything you see is a digital asset, and you use digital assets to play games, and it's fast, and a lot of the time it's free. You can still purchase, but it's free to just play and use this and move your assets from one app to another. So let's take a character from Guild of Guardians, and you're able to transfer it out into another app such as OpenSea. And OpenSea .io, Shirley, if you can go, I think it's .io, is a marketplace where you can take your character and you can sell it on the open marketplace. Having that cross-functional application, and if you search Guild of Guardians, you'll see it. So this is also a big difference from Web 2 to Web 3. Apps don't talk to each other. You can't send something from your Amazon store to your Etsy store. You have to create a completely new listing on Amazon and a completely new listing on Etsy, because those two services don't talk to each other. But here, it's much easier to send from one app to another all of your assets. And that's also the power of blockchain, because it's not a centralized system. You have Amazon system here and you have Etsy system here, and they don't connect. But blockchain creates these highways between a lot of apps where you can do more with the assets that you control.
Okay, so what are we looking at here? We've got one NFT asset. Is this a character?
Yes, this looks like one of the character of Guild of Guardians. I know there are just some also fake websites or like fake listings, but this looks like a real one. So this represents a Guild of Guardians character. So you can have it, send it out, and then sell it if you want. So someone who's playing the game can see this character and say, oh, I really want that for my level. They can buy it on here and then send it back to the Guild of Guardians game, and then use that character.
Interesting. Wow, it's the new age Sims. I used to play Sims a lot. I love it. This is great.
Yep.
All right. Well, what are some use cases? Do you know of any use cases that are not game related?
There are a handful that are pretty cool. On either probably Decrypt. If you go to Decrypt and you search DAO, Mio, yes, that character is yours forever. You can choose to hold it, you can choose to use it or not use it, whatever you want. That unique character is yours.
Good question, Mio.
So on Decrypt, if you search DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organizations, DAOs.
Where am I? Oh, here, search.
Yeah. DAOs are, and you might want to go to learn for this one. DAOs give an easy way for strangers to work together, meaning somebody creates the rules, and it's usually a group of people that create the code, that create the rules. And then you can operate inside of this organization, again, with many other strangers to make decisions. It's kind of like Kickstarter and crowdfunding. Everyone can choose to put money in and then vote on how to allocate that money into investments or into a community project that they really believe in. So you and your friends can get together and you can form, and there are really good templates for this. One of them is Upstream. I don't know the ending, but if you Google Upstream DAO, you'll be able to find it, where you and your friends can get together, decide on what you want to create and do together. And Upstream offers an easy way for you to create this autonomous organization to be able to accomplish that. And a lot of the use cases so far for DAOs have been to invest into community projects and fundraise for those communities. Two other quick examples are literally curing cancer. There are scientific teams across the world that need to find a way to work together and share data. Sharing this amount of data is expensive, and these separate scientific teams don't want to give away some of the secret sauce that they are working on. So they need a way to validate the data and prove to other teams that this data is valid and send it to each other in a very cheap way. So they use the blockchain, which again stores and records information, to hold this data And this data is information on how to cure cancer. It is helping scientists from across the world share info and be able to use each other's information to have these breakthroughs in a big way in the medical field. Another, the last use case I'll share is in India. There's a police station that has a very bad record of ignoring complaints from citizens. They lose complaints. If you file a complaint, you know, of something that happened to you, they're so disorganized. They're like, who are you again? The dog ate my homework excuse, all of that. So they use the Polygon blockchain to create a website where citizens file the complaints, and it's recorded on the blockchain. And the police force cannot lose the complaint anymore because it's proof that it's there. And they can provide updates on the blockchain of the complaint in a secure way, of course. They use encryption, so your like personal information is not on the blockchain. They update the information, and then citizens can go back to the website to see the updates. And those updates that the police provide better be valid because it is eternal on the blockchain. And it's helping this town get to a higher level of safety because of blockchain holding and storing this complaint information and holding the police force accountable.
Amazing. I had, you know, that curing cancer in this example, I had not heard about before. This is a whole new thing for me. Wow. So it's pretty endless, the use cases that the blockchain can assist with in communications and tracking data. And great. I'm learning a lot here today.
For sure. So I would highly encourage everyone to check out those resources that we have gone through today. Do your homework, do your own research. Obviously take everything I say with a grain of salt, which is another, it's another sign that we're still early in the industry and things change very fast. But because you are listening to this now, you are one step ahead of most other people out there and understanding what is going on, because the world is headed in this way, and Web3 blockchain is not going to die. It's not like a fad app, you know, RIP Tumblr. Nobody uses that anymore. So feel free to reach out if I can help in any way and answer any questions for you.
Thank you, Galina. It was awesome. I'm gonna have to rewatch this entire video so that I can bookmark all of the websites that you introduced us to. This is great. I have a lot to do in my to-do list now. This is great, and I like this introduction on different aspects of the blockchain, different industries. You touched a little bit about gaming and a little bit about you know, even governmental organizations. So it's really interesting to see that, and that a diversity of how the blockchain helps. So thank you, Galina. This was really very, very eye-opening. Erica and Mio, thank you for being here. If you guys have any questions, this is the time to ask. If you'd like, you can go ahead and unmute yourselves as well. If anybody has any questions, feel free to scan. And you know what? I just realized that I did not change this QR code. It's from our previous presenter, so do not scan this one. Go ahead and reach out to Galina. This is her email address, and also her website. This is mine down here. This is my website. I'm sorry, my information, my email address. You can go ahead and scan that, and my contact information as well. Sorry, Galina, I totally forgot to change that QR code, but all you guys are welcome to reach out to us. This is a recorded session, so we'll also be putting down information in the comments, in the description of this video, how you can contact us if you have any questions, if you want to reach out to Galina for more info or guidance, connect with her. Now, well, Galina, why don't you tell us a little bit of Niantic? We didn't get a chance to really hear more about what you do and what you specialize in.
Yes, so I shared a website in the chat, spotx.games, and that's my team name. We're the Web3 R&D arm of Niantic. Niantic are the creators of Pokemon Go, by the way. So Web3 R&D meaning we're exploring how to combine augmented reality with Web3 technologies, and we're playing around with digital assets that are art. So something that we did, which you can read up on the website, is we had, for South by Southwest, we had a game, a scavenger hunt, where we had 1,300 events around South by, and we put an AR experience at each of those events. So a person that would attend an event, they were physically located in the area, they went to a website, they played an AR game, augmented reality game, and we saved that location, where after the event, we put all the things that people checked into, all of the spots, such as if during South by they went to a tech talk, they went to an exhibition, they went to a movie, they went to a restaurant that was featured, they went to a live performance. We took all of those events and we created a digital collectible for them, where it was a map of their South by South experience. And in the data, in the piece of art of the map, we put all of their events. So they have we offer this for free, commemorative experience of South by. And now if they meet someone who went to South by 2022, they can compare their digital collectibles and see, oh yeah, I checked out the barbecue place, or I heard that singer too, they sounded pretty good. And it's in their wallet. We helped create wallets for people, again, just by logging in. So you logged in with Google and you had a non-custodial wallet, and it was an easy onboarding experience, and we gave you the NFT for free to showcase the power of the technology of having your user generated digital collectible. It was because of your actions this piece of art existed.
Wow, so interesting. So you guys are at the forefront of bringing real life experiences into Web3 and the augmented reality. I love that. So
yeah, for sure. If anybody is an Ingress player, Ingress is Niantic's first game. If you play Ingress, we just released another experiment because we're an R&D lab. All of it is experiments, where we have a trading post, and the trading post helps you create bio cards, which is an Ingress thing. It's like a trading card. So you provide frames, beautiful frames, and you upload a picture, and it's all powered by blockchain technology. So if you want, go to niantic.trade and you can log in with your Ingress account and play around with how we are using digital collectible and blockchain technology to offer an enhanced experience to players.
I'm going to share my screen so everyone can see what we're talking about. Is this it?
Yes, that's it.
Claim your official Epiphany Dawn digital players card. Look at that. Check it out, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much, Galina. This was awesome. Great information. Thank you, Erica and Mio, for being here. Erica, would you like to say anything before we go? No, you good. Okay. Wonderful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And awesome. Share this presentation, please, on your networks if you can. Support us, and definitely share the next event. You'll see it in Las Comadres. We'll post it up there, and share it with your friends so they can come and learn more about Web3 as well. So thanks everybody for your time, and thank you, Galina.
Thank you. Bye.